this might be a mistake. Welcome back. We're in the deep dark. I don't know if this is a great idea. Yeah, I'm terrified I'm gonna spawn a warden. I don't know what exactly... I think if you set off a shrieker, I think is where you run into problems. I think I'm okay as long as I don't do that. But yeah, we need some skulk because I have some ideas. So, two things that I want to do that revolve, or well, not revolve, involve skulk. First one, we got our redwoods done. Those are amazing. I'm so excited about how those look. But I had an idea. So if you've ever been to the redwoods, it's really common for redwoods to have fire damage. Oh, hello. So like they'll get... Oh, that's cool. So sometimes the redwoods will even get like completely hollowed out by a lightning strike or whatever. They'll burn, and regardless of the source of the fire, they'll burn and they'll get hollowed out, or they'll get large areas that are burned. And it looks super cool because like sometimes you'll have a hollow tree and the top of it is still growing. Like the tree is still growing because the nutrients, if you know how trees work, the nutrients actually go up like the very outer layer of the tree. So as long as part of that outer layer is still alive, the tree can still live. So sometimes the entire center of the tree will be burned out all the way to the top, and the outer layer is still alive and like growing. It's super cool. So really fun, and that was kind of an inspiration for me of what if we did some of that? What if we did some fire damage to the trees, and we could use that to do some interesting things? So like maybe having access inside of the tree through like a fire damaged area, and then from there, access down to underneath the tree, or to something that's going on inside the tree. Because, things like storage system, if we did a super smelter, some things like that, like those are not going to fit in the trees. They're not going to fit in the little buildings I want to put up in the trees. Like, that's going to have to be down underneath or somewhere different. And so I'm thinking fire damage would be one way that we could get access. Certainly plenty of other ideas, but that could be one thing. And I thought skulk could look really cool as part of that. So certainly like coal would make sense, using some coal blocks. We could use black concrete, black terracotta, some different darker blocks to kind of create the texture of like a burned look, which would be really cool. But I thought this almost looks like embers. I mean, obviously embers would be, red or orange or whatever, but the way the skulk kind of glows, it looks really cool. So I wanted to gather some up for that. But I had another idea, and, well, I designed an Enderman farm. And it's a pretty standard ender, as we like to call them. It's, the common one with a platform up at the top, a drop chute in the middle, and, kind of what's really dark. There we go, it's better. But I wanted to make it more interesting. I just built one in my hardcore world. I didn't want to just do a boring, standard Enderman farm. I wanted to do a cool design around it. And so I created a design, and it uses skulk. So... Oh, okay. Did I spawn a warden? I don't know. I don't know what this means. I'm so scared. I have no idea what this means. I don't think it's good though. Okay, we're gonna get out of here. All right. Well, I got a little bit of skulk. Maybe I'll come back and get some more. We'll see what I need. So basically, I have designed this Enderman farm. I'm super excited about the design. I can't wait for you guys to see it. It requires a ridiculous number of resources, all kinds of stuff that I don't have. So I'm going to head out and work on some resource gathering. Skulk is one of the things that I'm going to need, so I guess we'll be coming back here, or I don't know. I'm going to have to figure this out. I don't know. I'm going to need Skulk, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll get some Skulk, but I need a ton of other stuff, and it's going to take some time, but I don't feel like you guys need to see a whole bunch of resource gathering. So I'm going to go do that, and then I will jump back in, and we will jump into the end, and we will build an ender. All right, so I have all of the resources gathered. We are ready to go. Let's do this. All right, so we're in the end, and we have got... Oh, I forgot how cool the end looks with these shaders. Yeah, so if you watched the last episode, I was toying with the idea of just staying with shaders, and yeah, it's going to be hard for me to go back. They're just so fun. They look so good. Oh, you know, this side... So there's a little hole out from our spawning platform there. This side's actually really flat. So we'd probably just build it over here. Okay, well, great. That's simple then. And there's already like a cool access to it from here. I carved this out back when I built the shulker farm a couple episodes ago. And just so I could fly off to the shulker farm, so it'd be in the same direction, which is cool. Yeah. All right, so basically, the basic premise of an Enderman farm is you got to get 128 blocks away from the main island so that Enderman will only spawn in the farm, and you got to build it as low as possible, which is what we use the lava for. So lava basically just runs down until it gets to Y level 0, which is where we want to build the farm. And so we're just going to have to wait for it to run all the way down to Y0, which takes a little while. So we'll just wait for that. And that's done. Fantastic. All right, so lava is down to Y level 0, and then we need some water, which will run down next to it. And before I do that, let's just build ourselves a quick infinite water source so that we can get more water if we need it, since there's not water available in the end. All right, so we're going to throw some water next to this. It'll convert the, let's see, so we'll do it here so we don't get obsidian on the source block, and we'll go ahead and grab that back. And the water's going to run down, convert all the lava to cobblestone, and we can build off of that bottom block, which will be perfect. So that'll get us down to Y level 0, and we'll be ready to go. I am going to make a little bit of a modification with this design to the standard ender. So the standard one, there's some hoppers down at the bottom. You put those there, and that collects everything, and then you throw like a dropper with a couple of observers to run a clock, or I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to do it, but just to spit all the ender pearls and whatnot out into the void so that they don't just gather up. The problem with that is that it also spits things you don't want spit out into the void. Like, for example, if you tossed your sword in by accident, you know, if you happen to hit Q instead of W as you're attacking there, and you toss your sword, then off your sword goes into the void. And nobody wants that. So we're going to raise this farm up 1 block. So instead of Y0, it's going to be at Y1 for the killing platform. And instead of, I think it's 44 for the spawning platform, it'll be 45. So it'll just be 1 block higher than usual. And then underneath, I'm building some water streams, some collection systems, some sorting systems. So we'll be able to collect some ender pearls, collect the Enderman heads since we've got that plug-in. But we'll also be able to have a dedicated place for everything else to go. So just in case anybody throws something in there, dies, and a bunch of their stuff goes into the hoppers, like whatever, it'll make for a much safer usage, which I think is good for everybody. So we have a few kind of newer players on the server, and I think especially for them, like, it's really frustrating when you are playing and you lose everything. So we're going to try to avoid that happening. The end is always a little sketchy. You know, you can fall off, you can break an elytra and fall to your death. There's so many things that can go wrong. But I'm going to do my best in this design to help people out. So, Ramblers, more instructions to come on that in terms of where to grab your stuff if you accidentally throw something in. Can't speak. I'm just carving out this little layer here so that there's no spawnable spaces in line. Oh, there's a couple over there. It's fine. All right, so we are going to build an Enderman farm, and I'm geeking out over this design. The core design is still the same. I'll put a link in the description to the actual like functional part of the farm. But I'm super proud of kind of the framework that I put around it. So I hope you guys like it. I'm really geeking out over it. Really excited about it. It came out so well. So I should probably just shut up about it and let you see it. So with all that said, let's jump into a time lapse and let's do this. Alright, well we have an Ender. I am so stoked with how this came out. Yeah, such an awesome design. Great farm in general. I mean, this is awesome. So, let's see. Let me show you around a little bit here. So we've got over here, we've got our ender chest and a bunch of anvils. So hopefully that'll be useful. And then that's primarily there to balance out this little enchanting setup, which I'm very happy with. So we got a nice balanced area here. In here, we've got chests with so many ender pearls. These are all full, completely filled up. We've got a few Enderman heads that are starting to come in here. And then this chest is where anything you toss by accident will go. So let's toss this sign in here. So underneath the Enderman, there are hoppers. And anything that so all the pearls and heads are going to go in there, but anything you throw will go in there as well. And then sorting system lets it all the way around, and there you go. So there you go, bottom right chest, that is the overflow. Ramblers, if you die or drop something in there by accident, that is where it will end up. It is not going to disappear, it is not going to be destroyed, it is going to be there for you. So let's run underneath and let's see the inner workings of this thing. So, double carpets everywhere. This stops the Endermen from jumping away from the killing area when they get damaged. Otherwise, they will do that. You saw a couple out on the pathway out there. I did my best, but they can still get there every once in a while. But it's not many, so I figure I'm not going to worry about it. Over here is our Ender Pearls. So this is completely full. We've completely maxed out our Ender Pearl storage already. I mean, you can see I'm at 100 levels, so like I've been using this thing a bit. Yeah, and if you probably saw in the time lapse over here,
is the area where excess ender pearls just get spit into the void. So we won't run out of, we won't get like a backlog. So the ender pearls will just keep on going. And then same thing over here, we've got Enderman heads. And so I've got 4 spots where the Enderman heads, 4 spots where the Enderman heads can get sorted into chests. So those are all ready to go. And then the very last thing that can happen is right here. So if it's not a pearl and it's not an Enderman head, it will fall down there. It will go into that bottom chest. And there you go. We've got a nice, safe place. The Enderman heads do have an overflow, so that the 4th hopper there for Enderman heads actually just spits them into the void. So if we do ever overflow that. So down here I've got carpets sitting on top of string. So this whole platform, that's all non-spawnable. Enderman can't warp to it, nothing. Like, it's totally safe. And I love the way these eyes look. Hello. So it's like they start narrowing their eyes as you get closer. Oh, it looks so cool. All right, so up here is our spawning platform. Overshot that a little bit. And every once in a while they do get stuck on the trapdoors here around the edge. Just bump you down. But most of them are down there at the bottom. Up here is an endermite, and you do have to name tag the endermite. So ours is called Endermike. And Endermike is hanging out up there. Don't forget to name tag your endermite if you ever build one of these. Yeah, so they run to try to attack the endermite, think they can stand on the trapdoors. They can't. They fall down. They get hurt. So they're down to like half a heart when they land here. And you just whack away at them and kill them like crazy. So yeah, we have got ourselves an ender. And yeah, I'm super excited about this design. I'm so happy with how it came out. I hope you guys like the design as well. The other thing that we need is a gold farm. And if you've been watching Endivar's episodes at all, which I highly recommend you do, he's got some crazy good content, you will know that he was looking for a gold farm. He was hoping that I would do one. He saw that I'd broken through to the nether ceiling, and he was thinking I was going to do a gold farm. And it was on my radar, but I did not get to it in time. So he already finished his project that he needed all the gold for all the rails. But you can never have too much gold. So I chatted with him. We're going to double team this project. So we are going to get gold farm going. And let's jump into a time lapse, and we'll get this done. And that is a gold farm up and running. Took us a couple of hours, but Endivar, thank you so much for all of your help. That was relatively painless with the two of us going at it. So you can see here we've got magma, which prevents most things from spawning, but the zombified piglins, or zombie pigmen as they used to be called, will spawn on magma, and then they try to crush those turtle eggs. They fall down here, and they die. There is a collection system at the bottom, or rather a honey block system in place that you can activate so that you can kill them manually. This is a farm by Nembon, and I will link the farm in the description for this one as well. I did make a couple of tweaks to this based on another video that I saw, and I'll drop the link to that in the description. But you can see here, we get some gold nuggets, and I AFK'd for like a minute and got those. So it's a pretty good farm, but it's way more efficient once you have looting and use the bottom killing area, which doesn't currently work because the area underneath has to be clear of mobs. reason the AFK platform works is because we're so high up that nothing can spawn down in here. But as you can see, there is a nether fortress here. So I have picked this location very intentionally because I have some plans. And thankfully, Endevar was totally on board with helping despite the non-ideal location for the farm. It will be amazing eventually. For now, the AFK works great. You can't use looting or use it for XP, but with the Enderman farm, we don't need to use it for XP, so hopefully everybody will be happy. With that said, I'm not sure that we're gonna open this for everybody to use on the server. Going back and forth, I need to talk to Endevar and see what his thoughts are. It might be worthwhile to open up a gold shop. It might also be worthwhile to just say, hey, everybody, go use it. I don't know. We'll see what we need to do. I did... This is a little painful to talk about. I died, which, okay, fine. That's fine. But I died far from home in a cave in the process of loading diamonds into my Richides, into my Richides box. And I died by getting blown up by a creeper, which meant that my Richides shulker box also got blown up, and I lost all of my diamonds. So maybe we'll set up a gold farm just to try to replenish that. As you can see over here, we've got a few new things. So I set up a wool farm. Obviously, I needed something like 40 stacks of wool to make the carpets. So you can see I've got a lot of white and black, but ultimately, initially I set this up with 8 white and 8 black, but we now have all 16 colors. So here's the last few: purple, magenta, and pink. So we got all 12 or all 16 colors ready to go, all automated. I've got fully stocked dispensers that are shearing the sheep, and then under here we've got honey blocks, or well, honey bottles, which we can then craft into honey blocks, automatically harvesting out of these beehives. I got 5 of them right now. We might put some more in, although what I found is that honey is one of those things that I just don't need very often. And when I do need it, I need like 2 blocks or 4 blocks. I think we needed like 8 for that farm that we did. And I got over a stack. So we're probably pretty good. But the other thing that I got in between episodes, and you'll see it there, maybe? Did you catch it? We got the netherite upgrade smithing template, which is huge. So I went to a bastion. Oh my goodness, was that a pain. I think I died 4 or 5 times. Those piglin brutes are brutal. They're well named. Yeah, but we can do netherite gear now. So with 1.20, you need the netherite upgrade smithing template to get netherite gear. So that is now something that we can do. And I gotta say, I've been feeling a little inferior around Endevar with his, fully trimmed netherite armor. And I'm thinking maybe we need to up our game here. So we'll get to that. But more importantly, we got to get some buildings into these trees. And I cannot wait to do that. So I hope you'll be back for that. If you like this episode, make sure you hit that like button. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye.